I'm Jenna, and I'm here to watch Matthew Driggers' speech.
And I'm Matt.
I'm Chelsea.
I'm Billy. I'm Denise.
I'm Lauren.
There was an old preacher's wife, and she didn't believe in spanking kids. One day her 4 or 5-year-old son had done something that she finally felt warranted a spanking. And the popular punishment at the time was to send the child outside to pick a switch off the tree for their spanking. So she did just that. She sent her son outside to the backyard to pick his switch. He was gone for a long time, what seemed like about 20 minutes. And when he came back inside, he had tears in his eyes. And he said to her, "Mama, I couldn't find a switch for you, but I found this rock for you to throw at me." And at that moment, she took her son in her arms and held him tight. And she realized that to a child, it didn't matter how she was going to hurt him. All that mattered was that she was. And she put that rock up on the mantle of her fireplace to remind her, forever and always, never violence. This was a story by Astrid Lindgren, the author of Pippi Longstocking. As a parent, I want what's best for my kids. I want them to thrive. We all do. Some of you may not be parents. Some of you may be parents in the future, and some of you may be parents already, and you're going to school because you want to do what's best for them and you want them to have a future. It's still a popular belief that children need corporal punishment to teach respect, to help them learn, and to help them learn to live in a society when they grow up. However, spanking can actually do the opposite for 3 reasons. It violates bodily autonomy, it reduces IQ, and it tends to make children more dishonest. Spanking does not teach respect. It teaches that autonomy isn't important. If we want to raise our kids into adults that respect the bodily rights of others, then spanking is the exact opposite of what we should do. Spanking is a violation of bodily autonomy. How can we expect to teach respect to others through violence? According to the Merriam-Webster Online Dictionary, assault is the crime of hurting or threatening to hurt someone. Is a child not a someone? Is this not what we do when we spank children? Effectively, what we're saying when we spank kids is that it's a crime to hit an adult, but not a child. And that they're therefore not persons deserving of protection under the law. How could it be right not to apply a basic protection we all have to the most helpless among us? The United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, which recognizes the rights of children worldwide and calls for their protection, effective since 1990, states that any form of discipline involving violence is unacceptable. It should be noted that the United States is the only developed country which has not ratified the convention. Perhaps in order to teach respect, respect should be given to children as persons. Dr. Nathan Heflick, in his article in Psychology Today, notes that children learn how to interact with the world by observing their parents. What are we truly teaching kids when we respond to their disobedience or emotional distress through hitting them? Could it be that we're teaching them that it's okay to hit a smaller, more helpless person because they don't do what you want? What if we responded with kindness and calm assertiveness while respecting their bodily autonomy? What message would that send? Spanking not only has the wrong message, but the wrong effect on brain development. Spanking doesn't help children learn. In fact, it may hinder learning. According to a study in 2009 by the National Institutes of Health, harsh corporal punishment, which they defined as an average of 1 spanking per month over 3 years, can reduce the brain's gray matter as much as 19%. These people who were spanked performed lower on IQ tests than the children who were not spanked. If we truly want what's best for our children, wouldn't we want them to perform better in school? To learn easier and faster? Spanking not only affects intelligence, but it also has a detrimental effect on behavior. Spanking does not teach children how to live in society. It actually leads to less self-control, more aggression, and lying. Spanking may lead to immediate compliance in the moment, but does it help when you're not there? In a 2011 study in the Journal of Cognitive Neuroscience, the authors state the more gray matter you have in the decision-making, thought processing part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, the better your ability to evaluate rewards and consequences. Basically, children who aren't spanked and who are disciplined gently using teaching methods make better decisions and have more self-control. A 2010 study in pediatrics found that spanking actually led to higher levels of aggression in children and adolescents. It states that the current findings suggest that even minor forms of corporal punishment, such as spanking, increase the risk for increased child aggressive behavior. Dr. Aletha Salter, renowned developmental psychologist and founder of the Aware Parenting Institute, states that children who are spanked tend to lie to avoid punishment and will likely continue this pattern of lying when they get older. If we want to teach our children how to control themselves and to be peaceful with others, then spanking is not the answer. Children's rights are human rights. Just like that child who presented a rock for his mother to throw at him, the child sees hurt as just that, hurt. The only lesson they learn from physical punishment is that spanking doesn't help our children. It is a violation of their persons. It has negative effects on brain development and increases unwanted behavior in the long term. I would call on the audience to really evaluate your beliefs on this topic and to use empathy when dealing with children. Write or call your congressman to push for laws that protect children. Children who are parented gently, with calm assertiveness, perform better and thrive. Mahatma Gandhi said, "You must be the change you want to see in the world." Perhaps if we want our children to be a certain way, we should start with ourselves. Thank you.